Okay, let's talk about Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather Part 2. This isn't just any sequel, right? It's one of the most ambitious, most tragic stories ever put to film. And today, we're going to dive deep into its brilliant dual narrative, the story of a father's rise from nothing, and, well, the haunting story of a son's fall into that very same world. And this quote, wow, it just nails the entire theme of the movie. It sets this incredibly somber, powerful tone from the get-go. It's telling you that the ultimate prize of the Corleone Empire, it isn't victory. It's a profound and truly devastating loneliness. So how in the world does Coppola pull off such an epic story? Well, the film is structured as what's called a monumental diptych. Now that sounds fancy, but just think of it like two paintings hinged together. On one side, you've got the past, and on the other, the present. And by weaving these two parallel stories back and forth, you get this incredible commentary on family, on power, and maybe on destiny itself. And this right here, this is the heart of it all. You've got Vito Corleone. His story is this sunlit ascent. He's the immigrant building a new life, creating an empire that, yeah, it's criminal, but it's built on community. But then you look at Michael. His story is a shadowed descent. He inherits everything his father built, but he twisted into something cold, an instrument of fear and total isolation. It's just tragic. The father's warmth somehow ends up creating the son's ice. All right, let's zoom in on Vito first. His story is, well, it's the classic immigrant archetype, isn't it? He's running from these bloody vendettas back in Sicily, shows up in America with absolutely nothing. But he is tough, he's resilient, and using his sheer will and this very particular code of honor, he builds an entire empire from the ground up. And you really have to understand Vito's code to get him. See, his power wasn't just about being the toughest guy in the room. No, it was built on communal loyalty. His ambition, it was always tempered with this kind of calculated mercy. That idea of integrating his shadow harmoniously just means that, yeah, he did dark things, but they always came from a place of protecting his family, his people. It wasn't just about power for power's sake. Okay, now let's flip to the other side of that mirror. Let's look at Michael. He gets the crown, he inherits the whole kingdom, but he rules it in a completely different way. He takes that foundation of loyalty his father built and just systematically rips it out, replacing it with cold, calculating fear. He becomes this tyrannical isolate. It's such a stark contrast. You know, where Vito was all about building connections, Michael just cuts them with surgical precision. I mean, he sacrifices his own brother, his own flesh and blood, all for absolute control. He's completely eaten up by paranoia. And that famous line, "It's just business." What is that really? It's just an excuse for his own moral suicide, for shattering the very family he's supposed to be protecting. And this idea, this paranoia's embrace, it's everything when it comes to understanding Michael's headspace. The trauma, the betrayals, they fuel this fire inside him, where he starts seeing enemies everywhere. Trust? Gone. Completely eroded. Now, every hug, every handshake, it could be hiding a knife. It's a psychological prison he built for himself out of grief and power. You know, one of the brilliant things Coppola does is weave these recurring symbols through both timelines. And these aren't just random details, not at all. They're like omens, little hints of a larger tapestry of fate. They almost suggest this inherited doom, linking what the father did to what the son is destined to become. So let's break a few of these down. I mean, you've probably spotted the oranges, right? It's almost a warning sign. Every time they show up on screen, you just know something awful is about to go down. And what about the doors? They're constantly being shut, especially on Kay, literally closing her out, severing any chance of intimacy. And of course, the kiss of death. Ugh. It's just so chilling, this perfect blend of affection and total annihilation. And we have to talk about the color. It's just genius. This table lays it out perfectly. When we're in Vito's past, everything is bathed in these warm, golden sepia tones. It feels alive, you know, full of nostalgia and ambition. But then, bam, we cut to Michael's present, and it's all cold, washed-out blues and grays. It's the perfect visual metaphor for his emotional wasteland, for his isolation. The look of the film isn't just decoration, it is the story. So when you put these two narratives side by side, what do you get? You get the film's truly timeless and honestly devastating message. This was never just a story about gangsters. It's about how absolutely corrosive power can be. It's about the hollow crown waiting at the end of that road. And this is where Michael ends up. His final fate. He won. He beat everyone. Every enemy is gone. Every deal is secure. He has total, absolute control. But what's left? What did he really win? He's a king in a kingdom of one, just sitting alone in his empire of ice, staring into nothing. So in the end, the Corleone story becomes about so much more than just this one family. It's really a timeless critique of what happens when ambition goes completely off the rails. It makes you question our own ideas of power and success, and it suggests that maybe, just maybe, they create monsters, devouring the very humanity of the people who chase them. And that brings us to the final, haunting question the film leaves us with. It ties this whole tragedy right into the American dream itself. It really forces you to ask, is the pursuit of the dream destined to devour the dreamer? It's a question that hit hard in 1974, and let's be honest, it's just as powerful, just as piercing today.